Thank you for joining us for today's multifaceted presentation about financial resources for City of Racine businesses. RCEDC and the City of Racine created this event to support local businesses who we thought may benefit from financial resources as they recover from the pandemic or seek to grow their business. Before we get started, Mayor Cory Mason would like to say a few words. Mayor?
Carolyn, thank you very much and welcome everyone. This year has been a year like no other. We're almost at the 1 year mark when things began to go into public health orders around the COVID pandemic that we are all still struggling with almost a year later. And it has been hard on every facet of people's lives. We just hit the $500,000 mark for the number of people who died of COVID in this country. And so it's cost many families their lives. We've had more than 100 city residents succumb to COVID, but it's also been devastating to people's livelihoods and businesses, and has really put the economy in a place that it hasn't been in certainly my lifetime that I can remember. There are resources, however, to help businesses bridge this time and get through this space. The best economic development organization that exists here in Racine County is RCEDC, and our partner BLP. The City of Racine contracts with them to help us do economic development, and it's usually on a project by project basis. But in the midst of everything going on here, RCEDC also has this wonderful partnership with BLP that helps businesses with financing. And they are in an extraordinary position to be able to explain to city residents and businesses the opportunities that exist for federal programs that might help them get loans or grants to help us get through what is one of the most challenging economic chapters that we've ever gone through because of the pandemic. When I sit through their board meetings and hear the presentations of opportunities that are available to some businesses, we wanted to make sure that as many city businesses as possible knew about the resources that are available from RCEDC and their partner with BLP. As I've said, they are the premier organization that does economic development here in the city. And I am very excited and proud to partner with them on this event and to bring this information to all of you today. So with that, I will hand it over, and I just want to thank everybody for participating and hand it over to RCEDC and Carolyn to run through the presentation. I also want to thank, before I do that, I also want to thank our other partners that are here from Johnson Financial and other partners who help make this possible. This is I hope, a great resource for people moving forward. And I really appreciate everyone's participation. We are looking forward to turning the corner on COVID. We're beginning to ramp up our vaccines. We're hoping to get back to a sense of normalcy in the coming months. But in the intervening time, it's critically important that you all know the resources that are available to you.
So Business Lending Partners is RCEDC's financing specialty area. We offer a number of beneficial loan and grant programs throughout the City of Racine as well as Racine County. And we're also certified to do SBA lending since 1985, which is actually throughout the state of Wisconsin. There's a couple of programs I want to touch on today that I think will be beneficial for City of Racine businesses. The first is called the Xero RLF loan program. This was funded through federal dollars through the CARES Act for recovery of the local economy and businesses. I want to touch on low interest loan programs that range from microloans to local community loan programs, as well as the SBA 504 loan program that we offer. And finally, grants. We all like to talk about free money. Racine County has been good about capitalizing a grant program countywide that City of Racine businesses have benefited from each year. The Xero RLF loan program, the first one I want to talk about, again, is a new program. Middle of last year, RCEDC was awarded dollars through the CARES Act from the federal government to assist businesses impacted by COVID. The key to this program is recovery of that business with job retention, recovery of the local economy with job creation by these businesses. It's zero RLF because there's no interest, 0% interest rate through June of 2022, no application or processing fees, and no principal payments for 18 months. So again, the key is to allow businesses to reserve their cash during this recovery period and focus on recovering and growing as following the pandemic. Because of the job creation retention component, it's limited currently to equipment purchases and limited working capital needs. But I want to give you an example of some businesses that have been able to access these dollars to date. The first applicant approved for this program was the City of Racine manufacturing company, impacted by COVID, saw the sales decline, had employees on furlough, had an opportunity to be more competitive in the market by purchasing some innovative equipment. That equipment was being offered at a reduced cost because the vendor was trying to push sales during the COVID pandemic as well. So in an effort to expand their customer base and better meet the needs of their current customers, bring employees back and improve sales, they saw this opportunity, but the timing was challenging with financing equipment during the pandemic. The Xero RLF program and a unique program in the City of Racine called the Seed RLF was the solution for this company. He was able to obtain 0% financing, 90% financing, no payments for 18 months on the Xero RLF, and just focus his business on the recovery and growth during the pandemic. A couple of other examples of businesses who have benefited is a local fitness center. They were shut down during the state mandate. They're still challenged with getting members back as people try to get comfortable going out into the public during this pandemic. They had competitors in the industry that had shut down. They knew that they could retain customers, members, grow their members from the shut down competitors by purchasing and investing in new equipment. Again, a challenging time to be investing, but the Xero RLF was the solution with the 0% interest rate and no principal payments for a time. And the expectation is this will result in job creation. And most recently, we financed an emerging manufacturer in the City of Racine. This business was in business for less than a year. The owners wanted to take it to the next level. They saw a growing customer base. They saw an opportunity to expand their business, take manufacturing in-house, hire employees. The company worked with the Small Business Development Center on business planning, putting together financial projections, and successfully were approved for financing through the Xero RLF program for equipment, startup costs, and operational needs. So again, a good benefit to the local economy in the City of Racine. I want to touch on, secondly, the microloan programs and the community loan programs that are offered by RCEDC and business lending partners. These are direct loan programs. They're typically in partnership with a bank, providing a portion of the financing. The Xero RLF and the microloan programs are an exception where there may not be a bank partner depending on the size of the financing needs, but primarily our programs are partners with financial institutions, such as that first manufacturing company I talked about with the Xero RLF program, where Johnson Financial Group was a partner. The City of Racine programs are attractive because they offer the low down payment, 90% financing, the low interest rate, 0% for the Xero RLF, but for these community programs, typically around 3%. Fixed interest rates on the programs, flexible terms, deferrals can be offered, and the SBA 504 product that I'll touch on that is actually a long-term fixed rate financing option for businesses. The microloan programs, an example of a company that was approved recently in the City of Racine was a manufacturing company that had a need for a piece of equipment that was less than $50,000. Received 90% financing through our program at the attractive interest rate, would result in job creation. That is typically a goal for our programs. And through our microloan program, received a streamlined approval and closing process. Ekman Automotive, a City of Racine business, is just an example of a key employee who had an opportunity to create his own business because the owner of the existing business was retiring. And I just wanted to give you a sense of what that financing structure looks like. When you're starting a business, cash is important for the startup costs, for the operational needs. The Ekman Automotive was able to start the business with only 10% of his own cash. We had primarily a bank partner for 57% and business lending partners for about a third of the financing need. So we kind of fill that gap between bank and equity so that the customer can benefit from the full 90% financing. Small Business Administration 504 program is hugely important right now, very highly sought after with the 90% financing it offers in partnership with banks. And that's because interest rates right now are low. And the SBA 504 program offers 25-year fixed rates for building purchases, 10-year fixed rates for equipment purchases. And what makes this program popular right now is businesses are looking to recover from COVID. They're looking at restructuring their debt. And this program can refinance. It's the one program we have that can refinance building and equipment loans. Again, everything in partnership with a financial institution that the bank, and then SBA 504 is in a second mortgage position with that long-term fixed rate, making it a win-win for everybody. So the business can reduce the amount that it's paying for debt monthly and focus on recovering. Loans approved up until September 30th under the current relief bill that was most recently signed receive 3 months of payment relief. And that means the federal government is making the first 3 payments on their SBA loan for them. It's not deferred, it's just paid for them. There's also significant fee reductions on the program. So now is the time, the low rates, the long-term fixed rates, the attractive incentives through the relief bill. Culinary Infusion is an example of a City of Racine business that benefited from SBA 504. It was the repurposing of a church into a banquet facility. And again, the key for any business that is growing is, again, reducing their cash into the investment and focusing on the business. Finally, I want to touch on the grant program. The Racine County Grant Program is available to manufacturing businesses, businesses that are owned by ethnic minorities, women, and veterans. They're smaller businesses that are trying to invest to grow. So they are paying for consulting costs, training costs. Very popular through this program is new marketing initiatives to try to grow their business. And it's as easy as if the company has a $10,000 investment, for example, into a new marketing initiative, 50% of that would be reimbursed to them. It's a very simple application process. It's fast, it's popular. So get in line early in the year for the limited dollars to grow your business. Here are some businesses in the City of Racine that have benefited from the grant program. So again, if you have questions on any of these programs, feel free to give me a call. When do you call? It's when you're making an investment, you're a business owner, it's going to result in job creation. You're seeking that 90% financing. You're wanting to refinance building and equipment loans. You have those smaller capital needs that might fit under the microloan program, or your business has been impacted by COVID.